Ladies and gentlemen, here is how to draft from the 5th overall pick in fantasy football. My name's Cam. This is my buddy Aiden. We're going to be doing the All Talk Fantasy podcast for the rest of the season. I've made videos drafting the 101, the 102, 103, 104. It's time to draft the 105. Finally have a co-host, and we're extremely excited to go. Ready to do this today?
Let's do it.
All right, so with the 5th overall selection, we're going to start this draft, and we are going to be drafting around Jahmyr Gibbs. I think it was between Jahmyr Gibbs and Justin Jefferson. The reason I think we'll go with Jahmyr Gibbs is in the first round, I want the safest possible option. Players around him are Puka Nacua and Nico Collins and Amon-Ra St. Brown, along with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson gets a new quarterback. Puka Nacua, his quarterback is low-key hurt right now. He's not even practicing. Nico Collins coming back from injury, and Amon-Ra St. Brown has a new offensive coordinator. So those are the guys I'm staying away from. So I really like Jahmyr Gibbs. In the first round of the 5th overall pick, if you guys have the 5th overall pick, I would highly suggest Jahmyr Gibbs. And what are you thinking in the second round?
Well, I'm looking here, and when it comes to when I take running back, I always like to double up on running backs, just get it solid and solidified. But I am seeing Drake London here, who had a breakout season last year with Kirk Cousins, with Michael Penix. Michael Penix is going to get the bigger role in the lineup now. So do you believe in Michael Penix? What do you think?
I do believe in Michael Penix, and I think your thought process is good. You should go into the draft with a strategy, but if people fall, I feel like it's not crazy to disregard that strategy to get a player that you would get that falls. So yeah. I think Drake London's the perfect pick there. We now have our running back 1 and wide receiver 1, and let's see who comes around in the 3rd round. So Lamar Jackson goes Kyren Williams, Tyreek Hill, Jaden Daniels, who I think is a pretty crazy reach here.
Yeah, 3rd. That's CPU.
Yeah, I think Chase Brown is the pick here. I think Chase Brown at pick 3-5. I have the 1st overall pick in 2 of my drafts, and I'm probably going to try to take him at the turn. So I think that if he falls here, I think he's the only back on his offense. We saw what he was doing with Zach Moss. Imagine when he's doing a full year when he's the RB1. Yeah. His offensive coordinator is saying that he wants to be a household name. Let's take Chase Brown at the 3-5.
Yeah, I like Chase Brown there. Power back and running the field. I can't name another running back on that roster, genuinely. So I think he's going to get the workload.
Yeah, and I think that offense is going to be extremely, that offense is great.
Yeah.
That team is bad because of the defense, but if the defense is so bad, the offense is going to stay on the field a lot. Take Chase Brown. Now in the 4th round, I'm gonna lean it back to you. So I don't think we're going to go back and forth with these picks. But yeah, who do you think here in the 4th round?
So I'm seeing a couple options here. I see Davante Adams. I am still not a huge fan of Davante Adams. He's an older guy. Last year, he got some production with Rodgers. Dysfunctional offense now leaning into a Rams offense with Matt Stafford. I could see it. I do want to highlight that Ken Walker is still there.
I really like Ken Walker. So the format we're drafting from is a half PPR league. I feel like half PPR is kind of the industry standard at this point. I know PPR is very big, but I think half PPR is just the industry standard. So that's what I went with. I think Kenneth Walker, when healthy last season, averaged 15 fantasy points per game, was a top 10 fantasy back when healthy. Now, the asterisk is when healthy. And when you're drafting these players, do you want to put health into consideration? You don't want to draft guys that are already injured. Now he's completely healthy. He looks pretty good at training camp. I'm a big Ken Walker guy. I know you're not. Or no, not that you're not, but you're kind of worried about his injury. So if you could pick a guy right now, you had 5 seconds on the clock, who would you pick?
I don't know. I don't think we need a running back right here. I don't think we have to reach on one. So honestly, I would just take Adams or DJ Moore here if it were me.
All right, I'm gonna go with DJ Moore. I like taking the best receivers.
I know that's your guy.
Yeah, he's been my guy. You guys will know more about our guys. We're gonna do our top 10 rankings in every single position. We're gonna do fantasy projections on Dabble. They have the best lines, best plays. We'll talk about Dabble Fantasy later, the sponsor of this podcast. But Ken Walker goes at 5-4. So if Ken Walker fell to that last pick, we'd 100% take him. Now we have 5-5. James Conner's on the board, who's kind of been your guy the last couple of fantasy seasons. We have Devontae Smith, and Zay Flowers has been your guy. I don't like him. But a little bit more about DJ Moore. So if you're between those two guys, same thing kind of with Devontae Adams and T. Higgins. The wide receiver 2s on their teams that could be wide receiver 1s. On your team, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So if I could have the production of a wide receiver 1, I would try to take that all day long. So that's why I went with DJ Moore, a little bit higher upside. Now in the 5th round, I picked 5-5. We've kind of solidified our running back core. We've solidified our receiving core. And there's nobody here that wows me. If I were to make a pick, I would go with David Montgomery. Now, I think David Montgomery in a half PPR league is just as valuable as a James Conner, maybe even more valuable, because Trey Benson's going to be there to get James Conner. Dave Montgomery isn't the guy that's going to go steal the touchdowns away from Jahmyr Gibbs in this Lions offense that's going to be absolutely elite. Let's take Dave Montgomery as our flex pick.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone else that was a for sure grab him here at this spot.
Yeah, so as our 6'8" comes along, let's see who we're trying to target. We don't have a quarterback still. I don't think we need to reach on a quarterback. We don't have a tight end yet. I don't think we need to reach on a tight end. So who's kind of catching your eye here at this 6th round pick?
Honestly, no one. We got Jalen Waddle. I'm not a Jalen Waddle guy. Last year didn't do anything. That whole offense didn't really do anything. Tua, while he's back and he's healthy, asterisks every year. The production's not there with Jalen Waddle like it once was. Solid wide receiver too. At this point in his career, I don't really know what's going on with him. I see Chris Olave, who I'm a big Chris Olave believer, not on the Saints. You got two quarterbacks that both suck and are both fighting for that spot, and I just don't see it. And then you got a guy like Judkins, I'm sorry.
I kind of like him.
I mean, like, I like him too, but
I kind of like Juggins. See, he doesn't really have a lot of competition there besides Jerome Ford, who just sucks. He's not efficient. He's not good. They also drafted Dylan Sampson. The only thing holding him back is he's actually not signed. He's the only rookie not signed because of legal trouble.
Oh.
But I kind of like the upside here at 6'8". I think he'll sign. And the only other guy I like is DeAndre Swift, but I don't want to double up on the Bears because if the Bears just tank, like I think the Bears will be good. So we're gonna take the risk here on Quinshon Judkins. I'm gonna
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
So now with these 7 through, so here's kind of the meat of the draft. If you guys are doing fantasy drafts, obviously, if you're watching this podcast, hopefully you've done fantasy drafts before. If you haven't, really 7 through 10 is kind of the guys that are really gonna make or break your team, right? Because the first 4 rounds, there's going to be studs. Everybody's gonna get their 1A, their 1B, their 1C, their 1D. But these is kind of the meat of the pack where you need to hit on these picks. So if these hits flop, or if these picks flop and by week 2 or week 3, you're 7th round picks on the waiver wire, you failed. So this is kind of why we're going in depth here. And I might have to override Aiden again because my guy is on the board. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley is my, I hope it pops up.
I need to hear why.
Steal of the draft, Calvin Ridley. His Vegas receiving line, 924 yards. This means this man will probably be a 1,000-yard receiver. If you can get a 1,000-yard receiver in the 7th round. Now look at the receivers around him. Zay Flowers, borderline, maybe. I don't know if he's ever got 1,000 yards in a receiver. He might have got it last season, actually. Xavier Worthy, 100% not going to do it. George Pickens, not going to do it being the 1-2 on his team. Jordan Addison spending 3 games, not going to happen. Jerry Jeudy, dude, who's going to play the Browns quarterback this season? Jalen Waddle, the most inconsistent offense of all time. Chris Olave might be in the hospital by week 2 by the quarterback play. Seriously. And Rome Odunze is not even the wide receiver 1 on his team. Calvin Ridley is falling down the list when he had Will Levis throwing him the football last season. Has the biggest upgrade at quarterback, I think, out of any one of these players. I love Calvin Ridley. I love this Tennessee offense. I think they're going to find it, or they're going to be down so much in these games that they're going to have to throw it out. And Cam Ward has a fucking gun on him. So I'm gonna ride with Calvin Ridley. And he's not even like... the way we've drafted so far, now we're gonna have to go quarterback and tight end pretty soon. Talk about tight ends. Jonathan Smith and Evan Ingram just go, so we might have to go with your boy David Njoku here. But I just like Calvin Ridley, and at this pick in the 7th round, he doesn't have to start for us. You know what I mean? Or if Quinshon Judkins doesn't sign, Calvin Ridley's a plug-in right there. So I think there's a huge drop-off at the tight end here. I know your boy Matthew Golden's still there as well. But you cool with taking David Njoku at this pick?
Oh, you, man.
I think after Njoku, there's an absolutely huge fall off. I mean, Tyler Warren, a rookie. Tucker Kraft, he's been on and off.
Tyler Warren guy?
Not a big Tyler Warren guy. I don't really want a piece of that Indy offense, especially that Daniel Jones is winning that spot over there.
You got 2 guys that can run the ball, can't throw the ball.
That's very true. Very true. So your boy's here. I don't know if you want to take him or if you want to talk me out of it.
I'm going to have to override you here because I'm looking at Jared Goff. No. I'm looking at Tyler Warren. We just got our tight end. And then if we're looking at receivers-wise, we got Juwan Jennings and Josh Downs. I like Josh Downs, but like we just said, that Indy offense is just...
I also like Josh Downs. I think out of everybody in that Indy offense, I think he's the best value pick. He's ranked 103rd out of all the total fantasy players. So to get him in the 9th round as kind of like a dartboard flyer, I don't hate it, but I think you're going to pick Matthew Golden.
Here's my thing here, right? I like what you're saying, but that's to me, that's a wild card spot. That's like I got nothing better to do. When Matthew Golden falls to you in the 9th round, a guy who plays on a team full of fucking wide receiver 2s, and he's the proven wide receiver 1, hasn't even seen the field yet. Jordan Love connection, it's going to be there. I
really like Matthew Golden. I know, so we just had a dynasty draft for you guys watching. We're in the same dynasty league, and he actually did get Matthew Golden, and I wanted him. I got Ibuka in the 1st round. He got Matthew Golden in the 2nd round. I thought it was a great pick. He ran the fastest 40 of any receiver at the combine.
He's a top 3 receiver in the class.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Matthew Golden. I hope
when he falls to you in the 9th round, I like them rookies.
You know what? You like them rookies? So with our 10th round pick, let's go Emeka Egbuka. You're a big Egbuka guy too. And don't get me wrong, right? In the 9th and 10th round, these guys might not ever see the field. But if you're going to throw 4 darts at a dartboard and one is going to hit, that is worth taking those 4 rookies.
Those practice films, he looks gross. The route running, the getting up there to get the ball. I mean,
yeah, I mean, Mike Evans is on his last leg. Yeah. Chris Godwin just posted a picture on Twitter of him in a jersey, and his ankle looks fatter than my head.
Yeah.
So I love Emeka Egbuka. I mean, they used a first round pick on him. So we went 10 picks deep. We haven't got a quarterback yet. So we're going to take the next 3 picks off camera. Then I'll come back to you guys, explain who our last 3 picks is, and then we'll go from there. Before we get to our last 3 picks, shout out Dabble Fantasy for sponsoring this podcast. If you don't know what Dabble Fantasy is, they're the best DFS app on the market. You pick more or less on your favorite players. They have live streams. They have copy features. They have a rocket boost where you literally hit a rocket button and it boosts your entry odds. They're the best DFS app on the market right now. And when you use code AllTalkSports, you get a free $10 when you sign up. Now, I talked about the copy feature. Before we went live, my buddy Aiden made a season-long projection play on the NFL. You can do this right now. Passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, and I think you went rushing yards. So let's pop up that on the screen right now and talk me through why you did it.
No, I was just telling Cam beforehand that I'm a big believer in just taking under on everything. So here I am. I'm a big taking under on rushing yards. Don't ask me why. Worked for me the last 2 seasons. And I see Bucky Irving. That offense is not built off running. He's not going to get it. Just simply, he's not going to get it. Just said that I take the under. But then I come across a guy like Omarion Hampton. 850 rushing yards. That is insane to me. That is low. He is going to be the only back there getting anything. I mean, Najee Harris is one eye, so take Omarion Hampton over 850, lock.
Now, I hate to be that guy, but the audio actually cut out after that ad read. So, A, shout out Dabble Fantasy for being the sponsor of that podcast. And B, here's our complete team. You guys see we went with J.J. McCarthy and Justin Fields as our quarterbacks. We thought if we could get one of them, if we got both of them, one of them would be, top 15, top 10-ish fantasy quarterback. I don't know. I kind of threw darts to the dartboard. That was kind of how we did, or how we drafted him in the 5th overall pick. Make sure to subscribe for more content. With the 6th overall pick is actually coming out tomorrow. And we're going to do every single pick, 1 through 12. We're going to do our quarterback rankings, receiver rankings, running back rankings, tight end, defense, kicker, everything. We're going to rank absolutely everything. Starter sits, trades, everything, free agency, waiver wire, everything you need, fantasy football. All Talk Fantasy has for you. My name's Cam. Shout out Aiden for being the podcast. I'm extremely blessed to be where I'm at, and I can't thank you guys enough. Peace.